Okay, and welcome everyone to the third episode of the Daily Roam. Today we have two guests with us, so we'll get to that. We've had some sweet fights this week and everything like that. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in and all the support we got last week. Thanks, to the people on Reddit and the comments and stuff that we got, and everyone for posting the cast around and doing all of that. So yeah, thank you guys. Keep listening, and you are in for a treat this week. So first thing I wanted to get into is introducing our guests. We have Michael 1995 with us. Say hello, Mike.
Hello.
And we have Sen Deneroth with us. Sen, say hello.
Hello.
Okay, so we were just discussing that you guys might not be able to tell them apart because we couldn't when we first met them. But yeah, we do have two unique guests with us, even though they may sound like one. But they are yeah. So they're good players. They play in the AU time zone of lead farmers, and I will kind of let them introduce themselves. So I guess the first question is for Sen, and then I'll turn it back toward you, Mike. But basically, who are you? What do you do in game? What? Tell us a little bit about yourself and Eve.
Well, I do a lot of things. Been playing the game for a long time now, since 2006. I started early 2006. Had a break in 2007 due to studies and other things. But after that, I pretty much picked it back up. Michael and me have played in a lot of corps together over the years. Anything from newbie mining, running missions together and stuff like that, to wormholes when they came out in Prefer, I think it was. And yeah, we've been in wormholes ever since then, but in different corps that live in wormholes. So yeah, what was there anything else in there that you wanted to know about?
Oh, that's definitely good for a start. I might have a couple other questions, but yeah, I don't know, Mike. What about you? How would you characterize your experience? Similar question. I know Sen talked about your stuff a little bit, but yeah, same question, I guess.
Well, yeah, I pretty much followed him around apart from the short stint that he did in Nullsec in Razor. I think I was in some high sec corp just farming high sec plexes, but yeah,
You still do?
I still do it from time to time. But yeah, from what Sen said, we've pretty much been playing the game like together for the past, what is it now, 7 years. So what he said, I've pretty much done as well.
All right,
We
fair
have
enough.
been in wormholes since they came out. It's been good fun.
We had our first PvP fights together as well. So yeah, I mean, I guess being brothers, for those that don't know us, know that we're brothers. Kind of stick together with family, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well that's cool. So then, yeah, okay, so that was how long you guys been playing. It's kind of like your history. So how about PvP? Like, when did you guys? I mean, you just said you had your first PvP madness together. When did you guys start PvPing, and how was that?
Do you want to recount the first time, Joshua, or shall I?
That was the second time for you. My first fight was the battle for Agle. I don't know if you remember that in Universal Mining. Do we talk about that, or do you want to talk about the Ineve incident?
You can talk about that one, but I'd like to talk about what really kicked it off for us back in Tassa's wormhole. So you do the battle for Eagle.
Okay. Basically, we're in this mining corporation, and there were these guys, these really bad guys. I'm just kidding. There was this guy in Corp by the name of Freight Train. He basically stole a lot of stuff and got mercs, like hired mercs against us after leaving. And he trundled off to Nullsec, and we were fighting these mercs. And as miners, we had no idea whatsoever what we were doing, although there were two people that were kind of PvP orientated or had experience in PvP in our corp. So they kind of, sent out the alliance mails and stuff. The stuff you do as newbies, kind of thing, and you kind of rely on intel coming through alliance mails because you don't have forums of your own and stuff like that. So anyway, I think it was this one early Sunday morning I logged in, and like we were at war, and everyone in corp chat was like, "Sen, grab a battleship, come down to Agle. The mercs are here, they're fighting us." So I went down there, and although we didn't have really much PvP experience at all, we kind of wiped the field with them because we outnumbered them. So I thought that was really good that we kind of that was my first, big fleet battle. It was like, 4 or 5 battleships against our 8 battleships or something like that, and we had a bunch of battle cruisers, and yeah, it was fun. I didn't die, so that's amazing.
Definitely, yeah. Some of my, or at least what got me interested in PvP was being in a mining corp and just getting crushed by people war decking us and being like, what? Why?
Yes.
I can't do this. But I guess yours was kind of on the other end, but still, that's that's pretty exciting. Like, I don't think it's very often that mining corps actually fight back and beat up the mercs that kill them.
That's the thing. I think it's a little bit different these days, because people generally, when they get war deck, jump on their ults or whatever. But I'm like, no, screw this. I'm paying for this game. I'm not just gonna dock up and let these people push me around. And that was the same with the next war that we had against Ineve. They were mercenaries that came from Nullsec, basically, and war decked us. So, I'm like, screw it. I'm not just gonna dock up because people war deck us, not play the game that I'm paying for. I'm here to have fun, basically. So, do whatever to make that happen.
Definitely. All right. So how about you, Mike? You had one you wanted to tell us about?
It was in the first wormhole that we'd set up in, like a week into it. One of our directors, like the first time we moved in, he was like, "Oh, I set up in this wormhole." I was like, "It's got a low sec static." I'm like, "Okay, cool." But a week later, it was Sen, me, Dev, and Tess. Tess was going to join, but he had to withdraw his app recently. But yeah, so we're like, oh yeah, well, let's check if the lowsec is dead yet, because it was end of life, and I land on it, and I see like a zealot, a harbinger, and an omen like walk away from it. I'm like, oh, holy crap, what's going on there? They're coming to siege us or something. And so Sen's like, okay, I'm going to combat them down. I'm going to get in a claw. Dev gets in a raven, and I can't remember what I get in. I think I get in like something like a hurricane or something. So we like Sen and me are both in the same room, and he's like, okay, I've combated him down. I'm in my claw. Are you guys ready? I'm going to warp to him. Like, yep. All right, let's do that. Yeah, he initiates warp to him and instantly disconnects, like Australian internet at its best.
Nice.
So we're like, oh crap, they're gone. We aren't going to be able to kill them. And so, like, we warp to the low sec instead of the site, and the low sec wormhole's gone. So we're like, oh wow, so they're trapped in here. And so we proceed to spend like 2 or 3 hours chasing them down in our wormhole system, like eventually catching them out. And it's like the hunt. That's really what got me into it.
Nice, yeah. Classic Sen DCing as soon as anything happens.
Hey man, we were. That was my computer actually. I think because we were both we both used to live together. We don't now, obviously, but we both used to live under the same roof. So.
Oh man, yeah. In the Kill It With Alcohol, we'll talk about it toward the end of this cast. But I was watching one of the clips earlier, and we signo up, and you land on field in the Archon, and you're screaming at me to broadcast because I needed reps, and then you DC. It's just like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
I was like, I was locking you up, and you know how it does the locking animation, just going around in circles. I'm staring at it. I'm like, Michael, I think we've DC'd here. Just go, choo, locking, and I'm like, this ain't gonna work.
Oh man, yeah. But all right, well, sweet. So now we know a little bit about you guys. What you guys do in the game. And yeah, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to add, like about yourselves, your experience, or any questions that you had for him, Phil?
I guess overall, we've kind of tried and seen all the aspects of EVE Online. Like we still do some industry just to make to build capitals and stuff, but overall, like we've seen nullsec, we've seen high sec briefing, all that sort of stuff, and we've kind of ended up in wormhole space, right? Because I guess because there's so much money involved, you can kind of use that to do whatever you want in the game, like by farming for like a few hours or whatever. You can use that to fund whatever you want. You like your own personal army, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. It takes the game from farm online to PvP online.
And it just
Yeah.
seems more like there's more player involvement in wormhole space, like in a fight of 5 to 20 people or even 40 people. You need a little bit more skill and situational understanding than you do in nullsec, where you just go, okay, we've got 1,000 guys, they've only got 100, we're going in there and we're going to kill everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So how did you guys end up in Lead Farmers? Like, did you see an ad for it, or like an epic video like Face and I did?
It's where Hidden went to after he rage left our last corp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our last wormhole corp kind of was brought to its knees by the CEO.
Me.
Yeah, Michael killed the corporation. I tried to kill it and left, but it didn't happen. So Michael came up with a better plan and killed it on the way out when he left. And we all kind of migrated to Lead Farmers, and a lot of the guys from OMFG actually came to Lead Farmers as well. So OMFG represents you.
Good to know.
Okay, cool. Sorry, my phone is like freaking out. Give me half a sec. Okay. Oh God, hold on. Someone say something. Give me 1 second.
That's right. All right. We followed Hidden, that left first and joined Lead Farmers, because the wormhole community is actually used to be quite tight back then, where you kind of know people from different wormhole groups just because you've either had good fights and you've killed each other, or you've had good fights and they didn't know when to let it go, because like there's those people out there that will let you out of their wormhole once you've had a good fight with them, and they're those that will just continue to try and pod you or whatever.
Yeah.
if you want to get out. So you kind of keep in touch with those people, so when your own corp is either going down the gurgler or you're looking for something different, you can rely on those kind of people, and switch corp
have
quite
friends.
easily. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Space Bros. Well, everyone knows this rule.
Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense. So yeah, I guess from my point of view, yeah. I mean, you guys got like your fingers in in everything. Mike's like an expert explorer. He makes bajillions of ISK doing that. Like he's low sec PvP and all of that. Both of you together, you build caps, you whelp caps, you fly all the caps. I think between the two of you, you guys can field a like I don't know 7 or 8 cap army to just destroy everyone. It's pretty sweet. So you guys do have a lot of experience in everything. So we are happy to have you on the cast tonight to talk about fights and the bad decisions we make along the way. So then, on that note, I guess we will start with some fights. So I don't know, Phil, did you have one you wanted to start with, or do you want me to start?
Actually, yeah, I have a really fun fight with the Federation Navy Comet that was actually, I think, last week. But I forgot to talk about it. So you're in a dual prop Firetail, and then as a standard fit like Fed Navy Comet, and we're running around Losec, and we warp into Plex, and I landed a little bit after you, and you were warping out because we're like, okay, there's no one in here. But then as I'm about to warp out, I see a Slicer and Firetail show up in short. And then I'm like, okay, well, I can catch a slicer because he's going to come in right on top of me. And so he warps in, and I'm able to scram him, and then I start DPSing his face. And when he's about half to third armor, his firetail buddy lands and starts shooting me as well. But the great thing about the Comet is that it has so much DPS. I just sat there and I finished out the the Slicer, and then by that point I'm running an ancillary armor upper, and it's been out of charges for a few cycles, and it's just sitting there heated. I'm starting to bleed into structure, and then Face is able to come back in and help me finish the firetail. And then I think he got the pod, and it was some ridiculous pod, which is really awesome. But pretty much it felt really awesome to be able to kind of like DPS tank a slicer and a firetail. So
Yeah. And so yeah, I think the theme for last week for this week was supposed to be Navy frigates, and so we did try and do some of that stuff. But yeah, that was a pretty fun fight. The Comet is pretty good. It's kind of expensive for my taste as far as a Navy frig goes, but I definitely think it's a sweet frigate. And yeah, I don't know. I seem to remember getting dunked on that roam. Like I don't have any fond memories of that roam, even though I guess we did kill some stuff. But but yeah, I think those guys were from Providence and did not know how to work their pods out or something. So yeah, so that was pretty sweet. I don't know. Mike and Sen, do you guys Navy frigates ever? I know Mike, you fly a slicer around. Sen, do you ever Roman frigates or kill things or have any kind of anything to add to this?
We used to kind of. I can't say that I really do. I mean, there's those times that I have with you. I tend to be more towards the T3 roaming through wormhole space or cruisers type thing.
Yeah. With
frigates, for me, I used to fly like a lot of interceptors and stuff like that. There was this one time when Quilla jumped us in a C3 while we were running sites, and at the time I was in an interceptor because we were salvaging, and one of our guys was the salvager back then. He lost 2 Noctises in one day. I think it was nearly 3 in one day, and that was just after Noctises were brought out, and they were super expensive. And basically I was in this interceptor, and we got dropped by, I think it was 3 or 4 Drakes and a Falcon. And for whatever reason, the Falcon didn't jam me out, and I was pointing the Drakes one at a time and getting guys in on them while we brought reinforcements back in. And I think they ended up killing one of our Tengus, which were remote rep Tengus, because of the jams or whatever. But I managed to get the point on them one at a time. We killed the Falcon, then we killed the Drakes. And when we were really, really young, I think. But yeah, I've got a Republic Fleet Firetail in our wormhole, and I take that out to nullsec every now and then to see what's going on. But I like to fight on gates or wherever I want. So I guess the whole low sec thing and frigates doesn't really go with me, apart from when I'm doing support for you guys in a Bantam.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are probably the only times. What about you, Michael? All the times.
Yeah, I'd say Bantams and Melons are a lot of fun recently, but that arbitrator roam that Spill, me and Dev did just the other day was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So you guys did our arbitrators,
the
right?
Scene.
Yeah.
Remote rep cruisers are the best. Yeah, we did 3 remote rep arbitrators with like a TD, no prop, scram web, and cut booster.
Cruisers seem to be really coming into the small gang scene since the rebalancing, which has added so many different dynamics to PvP, which is good because, I mean, a lot of them were unusable. Like the arbitrator was just kind of the meh, and so was the Vexor. But now you can actually, use your drone damage amplifiers and the new ship changes to really mix things up, I guess, and to take on bigger groups.
Yeah, definitely. I am so happy with all the T1 cruiser changes and all of that. It's cheap
really
and
cheap
accessible
as well.
and good.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So then, a real little, the first fight that I have a note here for is, I hop on comms, and it's just me and Hidden and Bjorn. And Bjorn's like, there's dudes trying to close our first out in a Raven. And I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like, I don't know if it was really late at night and I was tired or everyone else was just like drunk or whatever, but it took us forever to even like find anything. And apparently Bjorn's in a battle anathema with no probes. And I think he might have been baiting like a venture or something. I don't know. It was really weird. But Bjorn's in a battle anathema. I grab an Oracle with no point, and Hidden grabs a Proteus. So I don't know. Like these kind of weird choices. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Like, obviously that's going to be able to kill a Raven, but are those like your go-to ships for ganking someone trying to close, your wormhole? Or what would you have done, Mike? Like, what would you have picked up?
For what? Sorry, rolling a wormhole.
Well, to gank a Raven, it's a
Rolling
ganking, ganking a Raven that's rolling our first out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess just kitchen sink until we all die horribly.
Yeah, and that was kind of the idea, and like he'd actually done a few jumps on it earlier, so by the time we land on it, he's on our side and the hole's like de-stabbed pretty deeply, so we have no, and mind you, Bjorn's on the other side and it's battle anathema, so he's not going to be getting away, but I don't know. Would you guys be jumping it? Would you guys just, the rest of our chain is scanned out. There is a high sec down the chain somewhere. But
Yes.
Raven's on our side. I don't know. Does that seem wise? Like, would you guys,
Yes.
how would you, how would you approach this, I guess?
Well, usually you want a hick of some sort to stop them from just warping away. But then again, there's always the
stabs at dominance, as we have learnt from.
Yeah, that you usually also want to bring at least one scram in case of micro jump drive shenanigans.
Yeah. So I'm in a pointless ship. Bjorn has a warp disruptor, and Hidden actually does have a scram. He might have a scram and a long point in his Proteus. I'm pretty sure he does. But yeah. So anyway, we land on the hole and we start shooting the Raven. Raven jumps out and the hole goes crit. Something like that. The hole might have already been crit. Like there's basically my wormhole mass super retarded, but the order is Raven jumps out, I jump out after the Raven, Hidden jumps out after me, and the wormhole closes. So it was like the last leg, and so now wormhole closes. We're on the other side. Clearly, we're gonna be able to gank this Raven. Bjorn's already got a point on him, and he's got TDs or something, which are useless against a Raven. But yeah, I don't know. So I mean, whatever. The idea really was Hidden was like, fuck it, let's just do this. Let's YOLO this or whatever. Some kind of drunken battle cry. And yeah, so Oracle Proteus versus Raven, pretty easy. But then a Falcon decloaks. So Spill, what are your do you like Falcons? Are they your favorite ship? What are your thoughts?
No. My hatred for ECM. My hatred for using ECM in like small gang when it's not needed is very large. Though I will admit that I will carry easy drones for like GTFOing, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but it annoys me. Yeah, I mean.
No, we all know that's a lie. You never bring drones on any ship ever, anywhere.
This is true. Like lately, I've been forgetting drones, so Alzheimer's. Who knows?
Yeah. But okay, so Falcon decloaks, and I found a really effective way to deal with Falcons. I locked the Falcon up, and I killed him in 2 shots with Scorch.
Yay, wow. Scorch.
So you're in an Oracle?
Yes. Oracle. Just Hidden's like, nice. Oh, Falcon's decloaked, and I'm like, oh, Falcon's dead.
Falcon's gone. Well, you must have been like some people just go the you've got you could either have your armor tank or you could use your ESM as your tank. You kind of just jam everyone out before they actually get a shot off on you. But yeah, I guess you just. What range was he at? I mean,
he clipped 60
what
off
range
of me.
was he at?
So 60k away, straight into my optimal.
Oh, nice.
You can sit like 100k off easily in a Falcon. I don't understand what. It's quite simple. You right click, warp to 100. I don't understand.
Yeah. So that was really cool. So Falcon dies. We have like 4 other battleships on D-scan, so we're a little concerned. But Raven goes down. No one else lands. No one else, anything like that. And then basically, yeah, kill the Raven and proceeds to. All those other battleships are attempting to close a high sec hole while their friend dies, and we shot them a lot and could not get them to forgo their polarization. And we ended up jumping out right before they closed it behind us. But yeah. So Falcons sometimes are not soul crushing. Sometimes they can just get blapped off the field when they fly poorly and have no tank or something. But
was he trying to jam you? Like, did you get the little symbol, or did he just fail miserably and you blacked?
I like literally as soon as I saw him, I clicked on him. He might have gotten a jam off on hidden, but Bjorn was holding point, so it wasn't a big deal. And I mean, it was literally as long as it takes for me to lock him and cycle my guns twice is how long he was on the field. So.
Oh wow.
Do Falcons have a decloak locking delay or?
Yes, they do. I think bombs are the only ones that don't.
Yeah, so then he died before he could lock anyone. Is basically what happened. Yeah.
They should have an invulnerability timer after they decloak as well, though. So you probably wouldn't have been able to lock him straight away. Maybe like a few seconds afterwards. So he should have at least been able to lock you guys and get some jams off, because jams are instantaneous, like jam chance. So I'm surprised. I think he might have derped a little bit, maybe.
That's only if they've just landed, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He might have been cloaked off the hole. Either way, it was kind of fun blapping the Falcon in 2 hits. So then I don't know, Spill, do you have another fight that you wanted to kind of talk about, or?
Just on that last one, if you don't mind me adding.
Oh yeah, sure.
Do either of you fly heavy interdictors? Because my 2 favorite ships when we first started in Wormholes were Recons and the Broadsword. So my Rapier and Broadsword were the most ships that I used to fly, and they're great at catching like all sorts of stuff. Because with the Rapier, if it's a solo ship, you can just lock them down so they can't really move. And with the Broadsword, like, people aren't gonna go away too fast. And it's gonna make a tank as well.
Yeah. As far as recons go, like,
that's
I can
probably
do
what we would have taken.
I can do like the Pilgrim and the Arazu, but yeah, like Hicks, like the training for it is just it's so prohibitive. It's like it's a long train. It's a really fucking long train just to put that bubble up. And I know it is worth it for the people, I suppose, who have trained it, but I'm still trying to like train cruisers to 5 and stuff, and I don't want to train for 30 days to fly a Hick.
And battle cruiser 5, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you train it all up, Fozzie's going to come in and rebalance it all, so it only takes you 10 days to train for a Hick.
Don't say anything. We're trying to get hired,
Something like that. But it's, it's fine. But eventually I do want to fly a Hick. Like, if I could just be like, yeah, I'm flying a Hick, I would. I think they're sweet. I think they're really useful. But as far as the amount of time that goes into training it, it's a little prohibitive for me right now. Especially since, if no one knows, I failed to update my clone twice in a row or something stupid, and I lost Amar Battleship 5 and Mimitar Battlecruiser 5. So I got to retrain those.
You could have used that on a Balgon or a carrier.
I know. I know. You know what? Whatever. PSA: everyone, update your fucking clone when you suicide yourself all across Eve. Exactly. Don't be like me.
To make you feel a little bit better, I did the same and lost Minotaur Battlecruiser 5. And the funny thing was like 3 days after they changed all the skills for battlecruisers, and so like I petitioned CCP. I'm like, hey, like this is bugged. Like I didn't get my battlecruiser skill, and then they PM'd me back and be like, no, you're retarded. You potted yourself, and you weren't in an up-to-date clone. And I was just like, fuck.
That's fucking depressing. This game is depressing. Okay, so Spill, you want to talk about another fight that you got?
Yeah. So this one took place just last night. I was out in a Firetail, and my setup was 200mm autocannons, double web, ancillary rep, trying to go for like range dictation. And so I'm warping around, and I had like 3 people warp away from me when I was entering Plexus, so I was kind of miffed at this point. And eventually I see a hookbill on the Plex. I'm like, well, I'll give it a try. Usually in the area I was roaming, like people usually have links, and so they just sit there and cut you at 42k and spew missiles at you, and you die. But I go in anyways, and so as I'm actually landing on the outside of the Plex, another Firetail lands, and I'm like, okay, awesome, I'm gonna fight him. But he enters the Plex, so I follow him. So a question for you guys, like, if you're gonna try and fight a Firetail, like, and you're dual webbed, like, the idea is range dictation. So like, what ammo do you think like should you have loaded for that type of fight?
I would
Barrage.
load barrage. If I'm trying to keep him at range,
So you want to?
that's the real plan.
You're trying
I
to go
gotta
for the
scram
mini
into a weapon.
vagabond type thing.
Yeah,
Is that what's
scram
going on?
kiting,
You're trying to go
basically,
for
right?
mini vagabond type.
Yeah, so basically, like, the idea of the fit that I was taking out was like, I'm gonna hold him at like web range, and then I can like, kill him with fall off. But instead, possibly because of the alcohol I was drinking, I have fusion. I have fusion loaded.
Insufficient
And
munitions.
then, oh yeah, and then to make it better, he was shield fit. And I was just orbiting at like 2,500. So I was like, webs, fuck webs. But luckily the hook pool doesn't do anything. Like the hook pool just burns off and orbits at 100k, just trying to capture the Plex. So essentially it's a 1v1 with a Firetail. And so I kill it, and he's like fully faction fit. It was worth 135 mil. So I was really happy with it. The funny part is that like
Wow.
right after I kill him, another Firetail not associated with anyone comes in and finishes me off because I'm in like 80% structure. And so I'm like more worried about getting my pod out. And then Mike goes, Spill, have you seen your kill? And I'm like, no, is it dope? And he's like, it's amazing. And I look at it and I rage because I didn't get to loot any of it. But I felt really awesome
Dropped it.
being able to kill. Yeah. So
Damn. Well,
More
yeah.
of the
Must
story,
see this. I must see
Firetails.
this.
Firetails are awesome.
Yeah. How do you? My only comment is like, how the fuck do you guys find these people? Like, I go on like all these solo roams. Like the majority of my time logged in when you guys aren't logged in is me soloing, like solo roaming. And I never find anything. And then I go roaming with Mike, and there's a fucking like Megathron in some shitty fucking ore site in Losec, and we dunk it. I go roaming with you, and like, we roam forever. We don't find anything. Then you go on a solo roam spill, and you find 135 mil Firetail. Like, where are these fucking people when I'm roaming? I would like to know.
You're trying too hard, man. You got to let them come to you. You've got to just let them come to you.
Yeah, speaking of let them come to you, like the other night, we're not really going to talk about this in any detail, but Spill and Steven, they open up they get a new connection in a nullsec. They jump out, and there's a fucking paladin anchoring a bubble on it. And they dunk it. A 1.6 mil
Yeah.
paladin just sitting there waiting to get butt raped by Spill and Steven. It was like Caracal Cinnable, and they just were like, yep, we'll take this free kill. Like, we'll take it. Just hand us the paladin kill.
Okay, I want to tell you something here. I found this Firetail. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was a 15 mil draw. That's pretty good. A Gisty B-type micro warp drive, Caldari Navy web, Caldari Navy shield extender, medium one, and a Caldari Navy warp scrambler.
Yeah, this is the fire tail I killed.
Yeah, Spill, you said that it wasn't related. It was actually. It was from the same alliance.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So he's like crying on comms and like, no, I'm losing my faction, Firetail, come and help me.
Oh man, yeah. So fucking free kills everywhere. I guess the point is you just gotta fly around, and people will be dumb and throw isk at you. I think that's what he's like, right?
Well, if you never try, you never get these things in the end. I mean, sometimes you find stuff, sometimes you don't. What you can do is bet on stupid, hope it's stupid. Well, hope they're as desperate for a fight as you are, whatever. And your Firetail is all like meta fit. You got like X5 webs and J5 scram, and it's all rubbish. And his is just 175 mil. I can't believe it. I still can't believe that. I'm sorry. I can't get over this.
I mean, fusion loaded too. Like, if you're fighting a shield,
Yeah.
You want any ammo but fusion loaded in that fucking gun of yours, like.
Well, yeah. To be fair, like, I think going up against a Firetail, like, probably. Okay, well, in my case, I should have had barrage loaded because I was going for range dictation. But fuck logic. I think phase plasma because, like Firetail's D can either A shield tank or B, armor tank. So phase plasma, kind of, you'll hit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He did have a thermal hardener and an EM hardener in his rig slot, so his EM and thermal would have been boosted a tiny bit, but it's negligible, really. I mean, you probably were shooting his worst resist. I mean, his best one, sorry. Still, even though, because he
exactly.
Before, so.
Yeah, so Spill mad success with the faction frigs. Me, not so much, but I don't know. I want to start flying slicers and stuff to get better at my range dictation and to just get scrammed instantly and lose like 10 of them. But okay, so next thing really to move on is couple engagements that I got with a bait cane. So canes, I don't know. Are they good still? What do you guys think, Mike? Are canes legit?
They've
Are
been
you afraid
screwed
of
up.
canes?
They're screwed up.
Yeah. Are they just nerfed?
Not
to
viable.
shit?
Not viable. Sorry. They're terrible now. Like, you're trying to fit them any which way. You can only fit them shield now. They've just completely screwed it over. The power grid is just messed up. It's just complete. It's just. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not talking about it. All right. I'm not talking about it.
Okay. All right. So clearly,
Michael, you talk about
canes suck now, right, Mike?
I don't know. Probably, I guess, compared to any other one. I think the Cane fleet issue is the exact same old Hurricane. And
why would they do this to me? Like, I love Hurricanes. I really love Hurricanes. I've got a lot of them. I've even got one still that has large rigs on it from before they had small and medium rigs or whatever. Like, I've got that many, and they've gone and screwed me over and taken my weapons off them because they've screwed me over with the slots and the power grid.
It's like a troll from CCP. Did you read the description of a Hurricane fleet issue?
Yeah. It's amazing. It's like, so here's the old cane with a new paint job. Is pretty much what it comes down to. Also,
and why are we laughing about this? It's serious business.
I don't know. But anyways, back to Sen. Sorry.
Oh, well, okay. Well, anyway, Sen is crying about canes, I think. That's where we were. And so canes. People, when I started playing canes and drakes, that's all everyone ever flew. Rebalance it, blah, blah, blah. Now, they're not the best. So, naturally, you want to bait in something that can be tanky as fuck and is kind of shit. So, I was fucking around with these guys in nullsec, and they undock a Loki. I'm in a Bellicose. And the fucking Loki points me at 40k, which, what does that indicate to you guys?
Links. He's got links. It's not solo. Oh, wait. Yes, it is still solo. No, wait, it isn't. Yes, it is.
Okay, so there you go.
It's solo
That's the whole argument.
with his linked ults.
Yeah, so links and also faction point. right? Pretty. I mean, no normal points don't point out to 40k, do they?
Maybe if they're linked.
Or am I making shit up? Or
If
maybe
you've
I
got a
was,
Proteus or
maybe I
Raju,
was,
maybe, but
maybe I
you
was
can't
scrammed at 40k. I don't know. Something. Maybe I'm just retarded. Anyway, I'm like faction point. That's the conclusion I drew from that, even though clearly it was a bad conclusion. Faction point. So, just in the interest of moving it on, I'm screaming about some, bitch ass Loki with links and a faction point who raped me, and people start forming up. And I'm pretending to be really mad in local. I might have actually been really mad in local. And I fly back home and I grab Kane. And I throw 3 Trimarchs on it. I throw 2 1600 plates on it. I throw a full rack of neutrons and a bunch of scrams and webs and shit in the midst.
What the crap did you just create?
Fuck prop mods. I'm looking at this thing. 108k HP with the damage control on. I'm like, fuck yeah. It has reactive armor hardener. I'm like, this is the best. I'm gonna fucking go dunk these guys. So everyone forms up in our wormhole on the nullsec, and I fly out there. And there's a Kane, there's a Vagabond, there's a Drake, and another Kane. Or wait, Kane, Loki. One of those Kanes was a Loki. Okay. Anyway, land on the gate. They all grass like clockwork. I fucking slam points on all of them, fleet jumps, and we dunk them. But yeah, bait Kane, fucking awesome. That I really like it. Has a lot of potential. It's got a lot of tank, and everyone thinks it sucks ass. So go bait Kane, I guess. And Loki ended up being like a billion-esque. Dropped a bunch of faction mods. He did have a faction point. So fuck all you. That was it.
You did.
What was it, RF?
Well, or did you just overheat it?
I don't know. It might have been RF. It wasn't super. No, it was True Sencha, I think. Let me find the mail right now. But yeah. Spill. You start talking about a kill or a fight. Well, I go ahead and find this mail for them.
Okay. So Mike and I think last night. Yeah, last night. We decided to do. Oh no! Wait. Crap.
2 nights ago.
I think this was after.
2 nights
Like
ago.
Dragoon Tristan. Yeah, 2 nights. So this was after Kill It with Alcohol, and so like everyone's pretty much gone to bed and or passed out and or blacked out from Kill It with Alcohol, and Mike is chatting with me. And he's like, "Want to do our Tristans?" And I'm like, "Yes." And so we're running around, and Mike, what was the fit? Are they propless? I think they're propless.
No, yeah, that was the Dragoons. The Tristans were damage control, adaptive nanoplating, and drone damage amp. And micro warp drive, scram, cat booster with 3 remote reps.
Okay. Yeah. And so let's see. Eventually, we find. Crap. I totally should have brought up the kill mail. Anyways, we land in the Plex, and there's a Blackbird and 2 or 3 frigates, and so we started DPSing the frigates, and the Blackbird. I don't think he jams me. I think he just jams Mike like the whole fight. Yeah. So the Blackbird fails, and so we kill a frigate, or a couple frigates, and I think a Thrasher. And then we start DPSing the Blackbird, and then I think Mike dies or I die, and then the other one of us just leaves because we're like, well, no tank, time to go.
No, it was an Algos, and we didn't kill it. It murdered you after I died.
Oh
But,
crap, you're totally right.
Yeah, we swapped damage to an Algos that landed, and the Blackbird finally realized what was happening, and then you burnt out one of your reppers, and then you got jammed, and then I died horribly. And you attempted to finish off the Algos. I think it had like 20% hull left according to you when you died.
Oh yeah, here I found the battle report. Okay, yeah, so we killed a Rifter, a Kestrel, well under jams from the Blackbird, well semi-jammed, and then the Algos lands, who's with these guys, and I'm shooting the Algos, And yeah, like Mike said, I have him in 20% structure when I finally go down. And I think if I hadn't burnt out my repper, we might have been able to have enough DPS on the field to kill that Algos with a couple R Tristans. So super cheap and fun.
It's pretty sweet. Our Tristan's sounds nice.
But you're forgetting the Blackbird. ECM again. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Fucking ECM. Well, it's still pretty sweet. Tristan's, jams. I don't know. I do like RR. It's sweet because you can, you only have to have 2 or 3 of you, and the more you have, the better you are. But it's a huge force multiplier, and I mean, sure, if you're flying around in a Tristan and a Navitas, they know what's going on. But if you're in 2 RR Tristans, they don't know your secret. I think you have sweet local reps.
I guess if you think outside of the box, or even if you take one strategy and then try and apply that strategy to different ships, people might not be aware at the start what's kind of going on. Like, either they don't think at all that this could be a remote rep or a bait, or they might not see the transfer. They might just think you're local tanking, and then you're going to run out of boosters or whatever, or cap. You can if you think outside of the box, you can get some pretty sweet fights. Like, just get people to engage you, and that's probably the biggest thing, is getting people to engage you.
Yeah, definitely.
But once you've done that with your out of the box fitting or whatever, you can progress the fight from there or whatever.
Yeah, like remote rep Vexes, face. They're totally crap, like you said.
Okay, to defend myself here, I love our Vexers. They're the greatest thing ever. But when we first conceived of them, I'm like, hey guys, we should fly RR Prophecies. I throw this out. Completely unique idea. I'm the first who ever thought of RR Prophecies. I'm like, hey guys, let's fly these RR Prophecies. Mike's like, nope, they're crap. We're flying RR Vexers. I'm like, RR Vexers sound like crap. We're not going to kill anything. And we killed everything. So,
what about the time that we had, was it 7 or 8 of us, including Archie and whatnot, and then we had that Vindicator? Was it at the Sun?
The Sun.
Eagle and the Falcons and the massive Blob and the Lynx, and oh my goodness, we somehow tanked for like 3 days.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, our Vexers are the best.
And then we warp out, and then we foolishly warp back in on top of a Vindicator. And
I scrammed
I just get Alfred off the field.
I scrammed the Vindy. I thought we were good, and then he blapped us. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun, yeah. Our Vexers are sweet. Same guy, actually. We had a fight against him. He was in a linked Astarte, and we had 4 Vexers. We couldn't break him, he couldn't break us, and the fight ended. That was it. But
if only we had Sono fit, right?
I know.
Just saying.
BL on standby or something. But okay. So last fight before we start talking about Kill with Alcohol. And only really, actually, this is more of a shout out to these guys. I'm baiting in my bait cane in a C5, and this wolf shows up. If you're in a wolf, do you want to fight a hurricane? Even the new shitty hurricane? Anyone?
No, not autocannons.
Yeah. So I actually have a full rack of light neutrons fit. So he's in for a really bad fucking time. So I get two webs on him. I blap him. I take a little bit of armor damage because I'm like super dumb or something. We're fighting on a wormhole. He could have jumped out. He didn't. He died. Honorable 1v1 madness. And then he comes back into a Neros and reps me. So shout out, I guess, to this guy. Is 49125 is his Eve name, and super bro. Honorable 1v1 in the wolf. Even though I was trying to bait him into bringing his Proteus to gank me, and gave me some sweet Neros reps afterward. Okay.
Wow,
so
I did not expect that.
Apparently, we fought these guys before, and we beat them up pretty bad. They had a bunch of caps in reserve, and they never warped them in because they were afraid we had more. But I think we ganked like a Moros and an Archon and like a Sin or something. I don't know if any of you guys were there for that fight, but
who were they?
I will try and look them up shortly, and I'll get back to you about it.
Space, I guess, with caps.
Yeah, they C5, C5, and they are Oh god, that is the wrong kill. I almost said they were wildly inappropriate, and that would have been wildly inappropriate on my part. Hold on, let me find them. That was a different wolf kill that we killed today in some destroyers. Hold on.
Yeah, that one's in nullsec. When was it? A couple of days ago?
Okay, no, I got it right here. Where? Okay, I lied to you so much. Dominatus Atrium Mortis, or 7th Heaven's Retinue.
Those sound familiar.
7th Heaven's Retinue. Those guys.
Yes.
But
yeah, I remember them.
That guy was super bro, so I don't know if we have beef with them or what, but okay,
generally when we roll into them, they usually do try something like send a scout out, and we come back and suddenly there's like a wolf or two on the return wormhole. They usually do try something, so props for that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess the first thing to add is I'm on the 6th page of my kill board right now, talking about this wolf kill. So I've killed I've killed 5 pages of kill board worth of stuff since this, and most of it is due to kill it with alcohol, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. I know we have mentioned it before in the past on this podcast. It's just to reiterate, kill it with alcohol. What is it? It's every Friday we get really shit-faced and we roam around. We pick a theme. Typically, someone who hosts. We have 3 corps in our alliance. All 4 now, I guess. 1 split into 2, or we increase the blob, something like that. But yeah, one corp picks it.
All hell the blob.
One corp hosts it. Everyone gets there. They host a theme. We do blops. We do towel wars. We do tweed. We do all kinds of cool things. And this one was battleship with triage support themed. And mad props go out to Mike and Sen. They were 2 of our triage pilots, 2 of the 3 that we had. And basically the whole thing originated as Mike's idea. He had just finished training triage 2 on his Archon pilot, and was like, hey, we need to do battleships. I saw some sweet videos of R-34 dunking people, and I want to do the same. Something to that effect. I don't know. Is that pretty accurate, Mike, or am I portraying you horribly?
Sounds about it.
Yeah, okay. So that was the idea. Mike's like, YOLO, that wormhole risk or whatever. Let's just throw these Archons away. And then Kragus was our 3rd Archon pilot. He had never lost a cap before. Spoiler alert. But he also YOLO'd really hard and threw his Archon into the mix. So so the theme for this one was battleships. Fly fucking battleships. It was Abaddons was the theme, and I swear there were like 3 of us in Abaddons out of the 50 of us or whatever we had. I think we had 36 battleships. And I maybe only had 5 of them. People showed up in Hyperions and Ravens and all kinds of bullshit.
Navy issues.
Yeah, navies. There were getting navies. There were quite a few of those. There were Dommies. Battleships. Just kitchen sink battleships is what it ended up being. So a couple personal notes. I have never FC'd a fleet that large. I'd never really done anything with battleships. I definitely have never been the man to make the call for the caps to land on field and to dunk things or anything like that. So it was a really intense learning experience for me, but it was a lot of fun. The whole thing was a lot of fun. I was pretty drunk the whole time. I think I was 5 or 6 beers deep by the time shit got crazy. But kill it with alcohol every Friday. If you encounter any kind of kill members on Friday, we will fight you, no matter what you are in, no matter what is happening. We don't give any fucks. We're too drunk to care. So the battleship room. That's the kind of the idea behind it. I was really happy. We had 50 people in fleet when the room started. 36 battleships when we jumped into the first empty system. We had some people catch up, we had some people leave, so it was we had damn good numbers. Mad props to everyone in our alliance for showing up to it. and everyone was really drunk and retarded, and comms were just a huge fucking mess, right? Wouldn't you guys say, Mike? I know you were trolling Migrator a bit.
Yes, was
Who was not trolling Migrator?
Yeah, Migrator Soul. He'll be a guest on here at some point. He likes to get drunk, post people jerking dolphins off in local, and get banned and stuff. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. He posts his phone number in local. Also, all kinds of cool stuff. Just gets super drunk. Really, really entertaining to have on rooms. But sometimes you're trying to call primaries, and he's just telling you how much he loves you. So, good guy.
Just if shit goes down, just mute him. I love you, Migrator, but I had to mute you.
Go ahead.
About Migrator, he is now our head diplo, so if you have any diplomatic things to talk about with Kill It With Fire, contact Migrator Soul. We updated our alliance description so that he says head diplo now.
It's true. Yeah. Congrats, Migrator, on the promotion to head diplo.
Well, he's just so friendly. Like, you know, he's such a swell guy. I mean, he deserves it, actually. And I reckon that I'm going to start his campaign for the next CSM for next year. So
definitely,
I reckon we should do it as an alliance. We'll get him there.
Okay, so
about the Rome, though, are we going to talk about that or?
Indeed. So the first thing, there's a camp. Some dudes, Clone, I believe, is the corp. Could be the alliance because I'm retarded.
Hang on, I've started writing up a massive battle report. Let me just get to my
no worries.
Google account so I can.
But I got it here. Clone Alliance. Plus an Occator. We dunk an Occator on a gate. Snig or Swig or something. Some dudes drop on us.
Snigwaff. They were sitting.
Yeah,
Michael
those
found
guys
sitting on a PL Titan.
and they ran away. I mean, to be fair, we dropped an Archon, so whatever. They ran away, but we killed a couple
battleships.
of them. And First Blood Hidden lost his Hyperion with the Sino. But we killed some stuff. It was cool. Whatever. And then the next thing, gate camp. All these guys, all the augurs aggressed because they were repping someone, but we killed a Gnosis, a Blackbird, and 4 augurs. So 37 battleships against a T1 cruiser camp. A little harsh, but they took the fight and they died. Next fight. Moving on. There weren't really any decisions or anything that happened in that. The next fight was kind of the predecessor to the main show, but I land on a gate and there's a horde of zealots and guardians and Proteai and Deimos and Loki coming through the gate, and I aggress up, and lo and behold, it's R34, and I'm screaming at Mike that it's R34 because all these roams were inspired by his kind of shit, or not all these roams, this roam specifically inspired by his triage dropping madness. And so I'm screaming that, and I don't have a Sino because I'm dumb. And the guy with the Sino on the gate with me forgets he has a Sino. So inevitably, So I inevitably, I just die in a ball of fire. I rewatched the fraps. I was literally like, I don't know, a quarter of a second away from jumping the gate with my aggression timer disappearing before I exploded. But anyway, so I explode in a fire, and Spill, you were calling targets for this fight, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So the battle report, I just linked it to you, but it looks like we killed a shitload of guardians, and then with some zealots and Proteai sprinkled in. And what were your thoughts? You were calling targets. I kind of literally just threw you in the mix, but just talk about it a little bit. I'm gonna grab a drink.
Yeah. So basically, it jumped in, and we're in the warp tunnel when Face goes, "I'm down," and then he goes, "Spill, call targets." And I'm like, "No problem, bro." To be fair, we're roommates, so like I knew the torch was gonna be passed when I could hear it in Face's voice, like, "I'm gonna die," and so we land, and I think the first thing I called was like a zealot, just because like full adrenaline, shit's going down. I'm like, kill the zealot, and then it dies, and then I'm like, oh, there's quite a few guardians here. We should probably kill their Logi first. And so then I start calling Guardians primary, and it's really amazing what like 35 battleships will do to any cruiser size hull, and it's pretty much just like primary this thing, and then it's
User in
gone.
your channel timed out.
And it felt really awesome.
Yeah.
So we burned through all the Guardians,
User entered your channel.
and then unfortunately
User
that made them
entered
kind of
your
go like,
channel.
oh, we should probably leave, which is fair. And so they start warping out, and so we spread points, and I think we catch some related stuff, but we catch a pretty nice Proteus. I think it's like 800 mil.
User in your
Oh,
channel
okay.
timed out. User in your channel
645,
timed out.
so
User disconnected
pretty
from your
close.
channel.
Yeah, okay. So, in the background, you might hear the mass disconnects of our Australian friends. They'll come back in a moment, or not. We'll see what happens.
Maybe never, but
you can hope.
yeah, Australia
But,
has no bandwidth.
It doesn't. They literally use all of it trying to be here with us. So props to Australia for making sacrifices. But yeah. So looking at the battle report, we had 43 people on our side, literally all on our side at this point. So the fleet had swelled a bit. I think we picked up some heavy interdictors and stuff like that, alts and whatnot. And then they had 35 on their side, so we did outnumber them a bit. I mean, they had a low sig gang. I think I don't know. I'm really actually surprised we did as well as we did, but we did have triage, so I think that was the main thing that was keeping them from killing us was our damage output on both sides was probably pretty equal, but we had triage, they did not. So
yeah, maybe. If anything, I would say we probably had at least like 1.5 times the DPS, if not like double. Like just going by this battle report, there may not be some people that are showing up, but we definitely outnumbered them pretty heavily. And also, since we're armor tanked, like we did have webs, so it doesn't really matter at that point. It's like, oh, you web something, and then you have 35 battleship, or 43 in this case, primarying it. Like it's gonna die.
Yeah.
So
my battleship roam sadly ended shortly. my Abaddon exploded, and then I spent the next like maybe hour while you guys roamed over to Barliget, I believe, Brave Newbie's home system. I spent the next all that time roaming from whatever system this was in over there to reship. So yeah, I don't know. Our Australian friends having some terrible time getting back to us, but it was a sweet fight. The second fight, Tempest Legion, sweet guys, awesome guys.
yeah, they said that if we're ever back in, the Galente, Caldari faction warfare space, to hit them up because they'll bring us a good fight. So that's pretty sweet. Like, it's nice because like I think our ARE34 and his group of dudes are pretty well known, at least in my mind. And so to get like recognition and be like, hey, good fights, thanks for bringing it, is pretty nice. So just anyone saying like, oh, hey, thanks for bringing it, not giving any fucks and bringing a good fight. It's always a nice feeling.
Yeah, definitely, and it was pretty sweet. I think we're relatively unknown in things like this. We do a lot of stuff in W space, but in K space, I don't think anyone knows who we are. So that was kind of their first taste of who we are and what we could do and what we could bring. And as we'll get into it in a little bit, they definitely wanted more of that. So we roamed to Barliget, and nothing's really happening. I think you guys might have killed a couple things in that amount of time.
Yeah, I think we blapped like a couple of destroyers or something. Like I tried baiting with a few dudes on Brave Newbie's station, and then like for some reason I just decided to call on the whole battleship gang, just warp them there, and we sit there for probably like 5 or 10 minutes, just herf the blurf, and we're like, we're not doing anything. We're turning around and we're going back up the pipe so we can meet Face, and so he can take back over the fleet. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Like I just kind of herded cats after blapping the Tempest Legion gang.
It gave everyone a lot of time to get drunk.
Haha!
All right. You were talking about the zealot thing and calling primaries and
we-
battleships melting
yeah, we-
things instantly.
Okay, so Australian friends have rejoined us. Spill and I did basically finish up talking about the zealots and things, but did you guys have anything to add to that? The initial fight against that kind of we were talking about how they were like a low sig gang, but really the main reason they bailed was because they couldn't break us with the Archon on field.
I was going to add something to the clone one, where the 4 orgs and just the T1 cruisers.
Oh please.
That's the one where Sen jumped in his Archon and promptly disconnected when he was trying to rep you.
Oh yeah, it was. It was the broadcast for reps, and I'm like, I broadcast this way. Oh, Sun CC.
Yeah.
So Australian
surprised you
internet
didn't
at
die
its
from
finest.
Well,
Yeah.
as you've seen, it just happened again. So I think that was more to do with the connection between Australia and that where the TeamSpeak server is. But our net was fine.
New
just then.
Zealand?
But yeah, it's I don't know if it's there or if it's still in England. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
But,
I'll do a trace later on. I'll actually have a look. But yeah, it wasn't even the connection that did that. It was like I jumped and basically the client just froze like crazy. And Michael's just like, just close it and just reopen it. And I reopened it and I'm like, sure enough, it works. But I had to log in again. So.
Yeah, so that's and to be perfectly honest, that wasn't even the worst triaging fuckery of the night. So it got better. But yeah, so Tempest Legion. Cool guys, we already, stoked their fire a little bit. And so yeah, we warped around. We didn't really find anything else. I quickly reshipped into a prophecy because I didn't want to be so slow, and I got back in time. Just in time, as we're hearing that Tempest Legion has formed a new gang, this time in battleships, and they are moving toward us, and we're moving toward them. So it was pretty exciting. We were about 10 jumps away by the time we heard about their gang, maybe less.
Yeah.
But we had that time to, aligning and moving, and we had a Brave Newbies tower gang that was chasing us also. And by chasing us, I mean running away from us when we tried to fight them, and then continuing to follow us while we were moving. So obviously the Brave Newbies were going to get involved on this one, and we're moving toward a Tempest Legion battleship gang.
Hey, props to them, really. I mean, they could choose to dock up, but the fact that they came out, they were all anchored on one guy, like, so they're fairly organised for them, and to try and kite, just to pick up some kills here or there, or leech in on kills. I mean, props to people that actually just get out and do that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, definitely.
with the first jump with that battlecruiser gang, they were on that PL Titan. PL had like 10 supers ready to go in that system, but they didn't actually decide to act on it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Run away.
Who knows why? Could have been they didn't want to have another Revenant issue or something. But people were kind of excited for things like that. But then, so yeah, we finally Tempest Legion. Basically, and this is kind of from my point of view, and then I'll let you guys throw your point of views in here. But so Mike and Sen were triage pilots in this. I'm a battleship pilot trying to call targets and do stuff like that. But we land on field, and they have like, I don't know, maybe 20 battleships, like pretty weak numbers, and some of them are shiny battleships like Tempest fleets and stuff, again navies. But yeah, land on field, start calling targets. They instantly drop an Archon, so we counter, and we drop 3 Archons, I believe. Did you guys go all in at the same time, or did we just do one at a time?
No. Kragus went balls deep to start with.
Kragus did go balls deep, and in the recording I was watching, you can kind of see him. He's in trouble. The second he fucking lands on field, Kragus is in trouble.
I think it would have been better for us. Actually, it turned out better the way that it happened, but we couldn't ascertain from you guys who was actually near Kragus to start off with. So we didn't know who to sino to. We did end up sinoing to you, which was where he sinoed to in the first place, but we didn't know where he sinoed to. And basically what that meant is that when he dropped in, I'm pretty sure it was just the 2 Morrises that dropped in after that and started pounding him in the face. But yeah, if we were able to drop in soon after that, he would have been able to refit for tank and tank those ones. But it turns out that because we dropped in later, that's when they dropped their dreads. So if they dropped their dreads, like if we dropped in straight away, then they dropped in their dreads straight away after that, we probably would have been wiped before we actually got some friends on the field to help us.
Yeah. So yeah, Kragus is he's in trouble. He's dropping pretty fast. They did drop in a couple Moros. Then finally we get you guys in there. You guys switch channels, and then on comms it's basically to the effect of like, oh, there's another Moros. There's another Moros. There's 3 revs on field now. Ended up I think it was 8 dreads in total that came out from Tempest Legion, and so that we're still calling targets. We're
Mad props
primering
to those guys.
first Moros in siege. Definitely mad props on these guys for dropping on us. The whole thing, and then what ends up happening is one of our guys has some kind of connection in Black Legion, and sort of I'm not going to hate too much, because had Black Legion not dropped on field, we'd have gotten wiped and we'd have killed 1 Moros, maybe 2, in a couple faction battleships, and that would have been the end of the roam. But at the time, I'm screaming, no, we want to do this on our own. Fuck this, fuck your Black Legion connects, get them the fuck out of here. We're not a Black Legion fishing fleet. And all of a sudden, a fucking Sino goes up and like 20 Black Legion supers land on field. So
You said that wrong.
did I? What happened?
Yeah, you're supposed to say 20 Black Legion spies.
Oh, 20. Okay,
Yeah, we
sure.
had at least 4 Black Legion spies with us at the time.
Yeah, sure, all the spies or whatever. I don't fucking really know what happened. But as soon as they land on the field, I know 2 things. I know that, A, what the fuck, like, this fight is completely out of my experience level, and B, it's pretty much over at this point. Because Black Legion is just going to wipe the field of all caps, and then moonwalk out. So that's really when, like, the adrenaline, stopped for me, and then it was more just, okay, everyone get together, everyone shoot things, everyone whore on things, everyone make sure everything gets together. But ultimately, I mean, damn, like, mad props to the Tempest Legion guys. I know I spoke with them a little bit afterward, and they basically said, hey, we don't drop caps unless we know they're gonna whelp, and that was our feeling too. We actually, even talking to Mike, we were joking about Black Legion dropping on us and dunking us as soon as we found something to fight. So it was good. It was really cool and refreshing to see that they had the same attitude about caps and losing them and all of that. And there wasn't at least from the people I talked to, no one was mad, no one was butthurt, and everyone had a really fun time in that fight. So then Black Legion, I'm basically all our caps died. Sen, Mike, Kragus. I think Sen went down at the last second, and it was actually a Black Legion guy who put him over the edge and broke his tank and killed him. But at one point, you were tanking like 7 dreads, Sen?
It was more like, it was 8 to start off with as I was going through armor, and then 2 of them dropped really quickly. 2 of the Moros dropped really quickly, and then as there was like 4 still shooting me. My armor was clawing back. I had like 10% structure left, and my armor was clawing back slowly. And then all these little red fighter bombers came over to me, and I'm like, no! And then it just went.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But overall, your guys' thoughts? I mean, was that you guys were pretty sure you were going to lose those caps at the start, but I mean, did they go down in a glorious fashion? Were you guys stoked at the way that it went down?
Yes.
Yes. Like I think Michael was about to say, there was a point where when you guys were killing those zealots and everything, Kragus was doing the triage. It was his turn at that point. And we were thinking, oh man, we're not going to get an opportunity to lose these carriers tonight. Damn it. So we're like, you guys are failing us, you have to find a bigger fleet to fight so we can drop these things in. Come on,
Yeah.
We're too rich. We have to lose capitals, guys.
Well, they only cost us about 600, 700 mil to build each. because we got all the blueprints within our old circle. So we built them just for this purpose and fully insured them and everything. So we were going to get the ISK back for what we paid for minerals and also for what we insured them for. So yeah, we had fully committed them. I mean, we weren't just going to go, oh yep, there's 40 supers that we can drop into. We've got no chance, but we'll do it anyway. I don't think we would have done that. It's more like the escalation. Like if we've got a chance of killing like a bunch of battleships and some like a carrier or something, we'll drop ours all in, kind of thing. So that's what we did, and kind of escalated.
Yeah, it was extreme.
Which is what we were hoping for.
But it was sweet. I mean, the 3 carriers and then the 8 dreads and then the 20 supers. But yeah, so that was sweet. And Black Legion left like right away. Our carriers were already dead, so we were holding the field kind of at this point. We're sitting there. We're like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? Everyone's screaming. Everyone's super drunk. Like that's the thing you have to remember on this room. Like everyone's drunk. We're 2 or 3 hours into our roam already at this point, and drunk. Just
2 or 3 hours of drinking.
Yeah, just oh, every time we jump a gate, drink. Every time the FC tells you to shut the fuck up, drink. Every time Migrator says something dumb, drink. So we just basically waterfalling the whole room, up to this point. And it was sweet. And so I'm all super adrenaline-y. We're all sitting there, trying to, I'm talking to Nex, I think his name was, one of the guys from Tempest Legion, and I'm like, holy shit, that was insane. He's like, holy shit, that was insane. And then we get word that a Surely You're Joking battleship gang has just landed on the other side of the gate that we're sitting on, trying to hold the field and scoop loot and stuff. So at this point we're like, holy shit, can we fight these guys? We just lost all our carriers. I don't think we lost any battleships actually. So that was good. But we did lose our carriers, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? And then randomly people on comms are like, oh, I got you, man. I got you with triage. We got 2 of them. We're gonna be fine, right? Like just the peanut gallery people. Just suddenly, I got you. We got the triage on. We got it ready. Just let us know when the sign is ready.
We've got this.
And I'm like, sure, alliance mates, they know what they're doing. Like, this is gonna be the best, right? So Surely You're Joking. They've formed up. The Tower gang also formed up on the other side. So in total on this battle report there are 76 hostiles. Yeah, we've got the towers. We've got the Surely You're Joking guys. Looking at numbers, looks like Surely You're Joking had about 20, 25 battleships. It could be a little less than that.
Yeah, they had I think they had a
shit
few
at counting.
more. It was around about that actually.
Yeah,
It was when. Sorry, can I just
go.
add a tiny little bit to that beforehand? I didn't get potted in my triage character, even though my computer froze again. I don't know what it is with my computer over there, Michael, but I'm gonna have to do something with it. Anyway, I jumped my pod back to high sec, like 2 jumps over, and it was in high sec where that gang was, and they had about 20 to 25 battleships on there, and I was like, holy crap, guys, we got stuff here.
yeah. So,
I didn't know that's where they were heading towards us though. Then when we jumped into, I think the toll was they landed 100 k's off of the gate that we were fighting on, that we fought on, and we ended up jumping one system over, jumping through the gate, and on the other side, then the battleships started landing on us, because I remember you specifically saying, "Oh, they're landing on us!" Oh,
yeah,
it was the funniest comms that I've ever been on. It was the most fun ever.
Yeah, so they had 5 Aneros, 25 battleships, give or take, and there are about 40 Brave Newbie Towers. So we jump in. I'm like screwing at people to reapproach. Everyone's still like super retarded, and I have no idea what's happening. And we're considering warping over to them, because we know they're on a gate. And then all of a sudden, they start landing on us, and I start making noise about that. So our sinos go up. Supposedly 2 Archons come in. But now this is the thing. I'm not trying to downplay this fight at all, because we did sign in those Archons and stuff. But first Archon to land on field locks up. Self-proclaimed, I am locked up. I have no fucking idea what that means. But he didn't leave fleet. He never like DC'd, but he clearly just, I can't do fucking anything. No one got locked, no one got reps. And so then, second Archon lands on field, right? And this guy doesn't have any fucking strong. Like, I'm not gonna hate on you because I don't know who you are.
Let's not name names with this one.
I
We'll let those
don't even know who
people
this
sort
guy
that
was.
out themselves.
I literally don't. Even if I knew his name, I don't. I couldn't call him out right now if I wanted to. Lands on field with no straunt. He's screaming at the other Archon pilot to give him some fucking straunt. That Archon pilot's screaming that he's locked up, and the whole time I'm screaming primaries over the top of it.
Trying to kill targets.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
I don't think anyone got any reps at all ever. But we've got 40 of us, give or take, in battleships, and I start calling megas as primary. So we start with megas. Megas are melting. It's feeling really good, and that's the thing. The whole time over the top of me calling targets, I had priority speakers, so maybe people couldn't hear them crying, but I could the whole time. And they're just screaming about how we have no reps and this is bullshit and like why the fuck don't I have any straunts and why the fuck like it was ridiculous. It was crazy. So I feel like we're dying, but at the same time, all the primaries I'm calling are melting. I'm spreading points. Things are going down. So we go through megas, we go through Geddons, we go through Tempests, and we end up basically clearing the field with the entire time a Brave Navy Talwar fleet circling us and picking people off. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Brave Newbie showed up on the other side of this report. I feel like Brave Newbie was shooting us the whole time.
They were kind of they were shooting whatever they could, but half the time they were on the other side of the gate. But yeah, when they jumped through, and I don't think you knew this, they closely followed our damnation, which actually wasn't in half of the fight with you guys against Surely You're Joking. So you didn't have boosters running for half that fight.
Nice.
So even the reps, the untriaged reps that you were receiving from the second carrier, they weren't even bonus, so they were like the full, long cycle timer kind of reps. So yeah, I'm surprised you guys didn't lose much at all, really.
Yeah, I mean we did lose some dudes. I think we lost 11 ships. It says on this report. I can't scroll down to look.
We were just buzzsawing through everything, though.
It was just. Yeah. And my thoughts was, let's get their DPS off the field. But, I mean, they're all in battleships, so that's why I went for megas first. And we just kind of, okay, megas are down, Geddons are down.
Actually, I think, sorry to cut you off, but I think you actually called like a Nearest first, because there's 5 dead on Nearest here.
I forgot about all the Nearest. But yeah, we killed the Nearest, but they died so fast. It was like, you know when a fight starts, it's when you really are like, you're testing DPS, you're seeing what's going on, this and that. I was kind of expecting like, oh, this one here, like it's low sig, like it's gonna break, we probably, or it's never gonna break, we're never gonna hit, and it just died. It just fucking died.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that first Tempest Legion. It's just like so much DPS on the field, and it's just like, oh, hey, there's this thing. Oh, it's dead.
Yeah, so I don't know. They probably didn't have any reps either because they all died instantly to us. But that was awesome. That was personally my favorite fight of the room because we didn't have 20 supers landing on field. We did it by ourselves, despite all the bullshit of failed triage and madness. And it was awesome. We kicked some fucking ass.
Yeah, like when we were starting out on this run, and like one of the things that made me want to really do this run was like really want to have like a battleship brawl, and this is pretty much like a battleship brawl is what it came down to. Like we blocked all their logi, we had no logi ourselves. We definitely had like a bit of numbers advantage, but it was just like who can kill the most first and make the other people leave. And like it's fun because you don't really get to do those type of fights very often in Eve, and it's just like sit there and punch each other in the face until the other person collapses. So that was a lot of fun. And also ironic that is like 2 of the largest wormhole groups meeting in low sec in battleships. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome. So like mad props to Shirley You're Joking for taking the fight. All of it was awesome. And Tempest
even for Brave Newbies for
like seriously, like I might not always be happy if I lose a fight, but I am 100% more happy to have had a fight and lost it than to have roamed like 40 jumps through nothing and got nothing, and people call me a fag as I'm like warping through their local while they're docked up, and I'm like, wow, I have no faith in this game anymore. But like this, just all of this, like, fucking awesome. It was an amazing day. Back to back to back fights. Like, in my dreams, this couldn't have gone any better than it did.
Yeah, one of our oldest players, Malagar, who's been playing since like a year after beta
2004.
or something. Okay, so forever. He said that this is like one of his top 5 fights in his whole playing experience. So that's pretty cool.
I
So
see what you linked here. Brave Newbies caught one of our Ravens afterward and dunked him, I guess.
And literally alphaed him. I actually remember watching this happen. I might have the fraps, but I just see this stream of missiles just lands on this Raven, and the Raven just is gone. I was like, holy fuck! They alphaed a battleship right now, and then we just sit there and like loot the field, and Brave Newbies wanders off, and I'm like, wait, they could dunk us right now, and they left.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. It was intense, the whole thing. It was a lot of fun though. But yeah, so I don't know, any closing comments on the Kill It With Alcohol or just anything? We're gonna have to wind this podcast down a little bit here, but my closing thoughts, or I mean, I'll have another thing to say because I'm never done talking. But overall, fucking awesome. Thanks everyone for fighting us, and in general, I mean, Kill in general. We're fucking always up for a fight. I'm always up for a fight. Sorry to some of you guys out there. This is probably a little bit on the larger scale than you're used to listening to. But I mean, there is PvP out there of all sizes and shapes, and yeah. I mean, this is what our Kill It With Alcohol was like this week. But next week we could have 5 dudes and be doing something else ridiculous. So yeah, man, like it was all awesome. I was happy with all of it. But yeah, anyone else? Closing thoughts, Phil?
Yeah, I'm really happy to do the battleship run because being on wormholes, we don't get to use battleships that often, so I think this is kind of a treat for everyone. Lots of fun.
Yeah. Mike, son?
Michael's dead.
I'm not.
Okay. Either of you?
You go first.
I guess I'll say that the whole run was really good. With the whole how everything isn't perfect kind of thing, that's kind of a lot to do with Eve. You know, how you just kind of make those fights. You got to make something useful of them, even though you don't have Logi or whatever. Even though I got my icon just destroyed and I couldn't really do much, but watch and scout after that. I mean, I had a great time. Like Michael and me, we loved it. So yeah, and from all the loot that we got, we paid back. Well, Krager's got all of his fitting, and he got his money for his thing, and we're in the process of reimbursing people for the battleships that they lost as well, because we got so much loot off the field. So yeah, it was good all round. I mean, anyone that's looking to do this, like you said, it's probably not accessible to everyone, but if you've got a big corp behind you, or you don't even have one, I'd suggest looking at getting in one if you're interested in this kind of thing. So it does happen. You just got to have that kind of mentality that it's a game, and you put money towards your battleships and everything. You just kind of don't get too attached to your ships, like, because as soon as you start doing that, you're not fighting. You're just kind of like, oh no, but we might lose, so we're just gonna poss up or dock up or whatever and not fight and not play the game. Just kind of spin my ship in my poss. So yeah, like I said, I'm not like that. I'm here to have fun, so not for anything. I guess you guys are as well. So yeah, thanks for having us on here. I guess it's been fun.
Definitely. It's been a pleasure.
Michael?
Yeah, Mike, how about you?
With the Brave Newbies fleet, I remember someone saying that they were actually on the Shirley You're Joking side. So it was actually the Shirley and Brave Newbies fleet against us when we didn't have any triage.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we get it, Michael. They were all against us.
On the battle report, that is what it reflects. I just wasn't certain. I mean,
yeah,
I never got primaried, so.
Yeah, actually, Brave Newbies killed a Raven, a Scorpion, and our 2 Typhoons. Like, that was all of them on that battle report.
Stragglers.
So, no, I think they're actually there. Like, the whole fight. And Brave Newbies was just like, let's go for the softest thing. But, yeah, just look through all of them.
Awesome. All right. Well,
And
yeah.
Rote Capel were coming in, but they were a little late. They brought a Guardian and T3 fleet, but we just extracted.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
I remember
that time,
we were
it was like 4 a.m. for some people, so.
we were considering. I'm like, do we have this? Could we take this? And people are like, no. And I'm like, okay, let's leave. Let's get the fuck out of here. But yeah. All right. Well, so sweet. To wind things down. Yeah. Let's pick a ship. This week that we want to a category, a specific ship, whatever. I don't know. Any of you guys? Is there anything that you've been wanting to fly? Anything that you're excited to fly? Anything that for this week? Try and get a good fight in.
We need to do more remote rep cruises in LoSec, whether it be arbitrators or vexes or that concept I showed you last night. If you were paying attention.
I wasn't.
He's gone.
I was not. But you could refresh my. Okay, fuck it. Let's do that. RR stuff. Remote rep. Get a friend.
Frigates or cruisers?
Get a swarm of remote rep drones. I don't care how you do it. Get remote rep modules. Remote rep. Try out some remote rep stuff, guys. And Spill and I will try and get some good remote rep fights to talk about for next week for you guys. But again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for everyone who's spread the word about our cast. Thanks for everyone who's given us a fight. And yeah, we will see you guys again in a week.
Don't forget to check into our in-game channel, the Daily Roam.
Yep, and yeah, website dailyroam.com. There's a few videos on there. I'm gonna update a couple new ones. Yeah, if you have any feedback for anything, please let us know. And signing off, we will see you next week.
Peace out.